Welcome back, listeners. You're listening to the Haven Financial Group radio show. I'm founder and CEO of the Haven Financial Group. Kim, celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year. It's been 10 years since we opened here in Burnsville.
That's
and
great.
We're very proud of that. We've expanded now 3 times. It's amazing what hard work can do, but again, it's also amazing when you can help people and what that looks like. And we've done that for anybody that's come in a very comfortable atmosphere, a laid-back approach, but a serious approach. And we're very proud of that. So if you're listening and you're looking for more information about any of these key retirement areas, don't hesitate, but give us a call, 612-504-8400 or havenfinancialgroup.com anytime.
So how do you celebrate 10 years?
That's a really good question. I will let you know.
I feel like your wife, she's got something up her sleeve.
Oh, she's the creative mind. You know that. And I know she has things planned, but we're very proud of it. And it's hard to believe it's already been 10 years. I don't know how that's even possible. But again, we thank the listeners and we thank our clients and all those that we come across because that's the service we offer. And again, we're very proud of it.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about how you work with your clients to turn lifetime of savings into an income. You know, it's one thing to save and save and save and save, and you've got that all tucked away somewhere. And then you decide, you know, this is the year I'm going to walk away from my job. And then those paychecks stop coming. Then how do you turn, you know, those retirement accounts into income? Let's walk through that just a bit, Larry. Where do you guys start with it?
Yeah, you just said the key question that I've asked for years for new retirees. What's been the most difficult thing about retiring? Overwhelmingly, it's not getting a paycheck any longer.
Absolutely.
So how do you turn this nest egg? And again, I think we've done a disservice. Is it $1 million? Is it 500?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever your number is your number. Again, it's not about the number, but how do we turn that into income? You know, that retirement savings, and how do we do it over the long haul? Again, 10, 20, 30, 35 years, because again, you want to know when you're going to run out, if ever. Mm-hmm. And how do we increase our chances if it doesn't look so good, if it does look bleak? And we can do that a variety of different ways. We can look at, you know, stacking bond portfolios, and we could look at dividends and other types of investment approaches, come up with a very strategic withdrawal policy. You know, everybody's probably familiar with the 4% rule. I think it's a little outdated. Again, all these are circumstantial based on your situation. Maybe you're blessed to have a big Social Security and a big pension, and maybe the income strategy is not going to be as serious, although that's not the norm that I see, because many don't have pensions, including my wife and I. So again, the 3-legged stool, going kind of old school, the Social Security, pensions, and the retirement nest egg. And we don't have pensions, so how do you create that third pension? We help people do it by doing a self-directed pension, which may be utilizing income annuities, which, by the way, I do have a class, I think, in April coming up, The Truth About Annuities. That can be done effectively if the right approach is taken. You could do laddered CDs. So we're going to look at all these options. And then one that comes up quite often is, what if I get a part-time job? Maybe a little extra cash flow to supplement these. Nobody said you couldn't if you want to. Now, hopefully it's because you want to and don't need to, you know, the wants and the needs things. And sometimes retirees need to do some just to, you know, for financial and mental toughness. And you got to be driven to do something. And you know, retirement is really a transition, and everybody handles it differently. You know, I just had a flight attendant with Delta that was in not long ago, and she retired. She's not liking retirement. She loved her job, and that's amazing. And I got others that the day they hang it up, they're all smiles, and they're going fishing, and they're going hunting, and they're going golfing, and they go, I don't even know why I even worked before because I love this retirement. So everybody's going to adapt differently. And I'll point this one out too, because we're in Minnesota and, you know, everybody knows it was 15 below this past week. And I have a gentleman, I said, when are you going to retire? Now he's 71. He works at Collins here in the South Metro. And he goes, well, I've had people tell me that I should do it in the spring in Minnesota. And I said, you're exactly right. Because when people retire, now it's individual choice, of course, but people that retire in Minnesota in the fall going into the winter tend to regret it because of how long the winters are. So it's just a word to the wise. Plan it out accordingly. And for married couples, you might want to stagger that about 30 days just so you
or
can get through
more.
the adjustment or more.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Absolutely. Let me go back to this. I always ask you this, and you explained it so well, but you just mentioned the idea of a part-time job. At what point does a part-time job become an issue for you if you've started to draw from some of your different retirement accounts or your Social Security?
Yeah, I'll point out because we're on the topic of Social Security as well. If you're
Right.
not full retirement age, which is based upon your birth date, and anybody could have anywhere from 66 to 2 months to 4 months up to 67 right now, there's an income threshold that if you're not to full retirement age and you make over a certain amount, and it's right around 23,000 this year, that they'll start withholding some of you. Go over that, they'll start withholding some of your Social Security benefits, which eventually you'll get it back, but it's a withholding. So you might want to consider the income threshold, which goes away when you turn full retirement age. So you can make pretty much as you want to. So that, and then that needs to factor in. Everything is always driven by taxes. And
Right.
you know what? If you're not getting tax planning and it's tax season, you hear me every week talk about forward thinking tax planning. Lance, our CPA, is in full force with tax preparation. But almost every meeting, I ask him how it went, and he thrives on when our planning, our projections come out to basically being even, if that was the goal of what your goal was, rather than, oh my goodness, I owe all kinds of money, I didn't plan accordingly. Fix the problem so it's not a problem next year. Maybe it requires a different partner. Maybe it requires a different financial advisor. Maybe it requires a new team to work together and put these pieces together so they're not working apart, that they're coordinated. Because let's face it, Kim, in retirement, investments, taxes, estate planning, insurance, they all go to Medicare, health care, long-term care.
Sure.
They all go together, or at least they should go together. And there's costs associated with them. What are they? Let's figure it out. Let's put pen to paper and avoid negative surprises, especially as you're going into these retirement years, these golden years. A lot of mistakes can be avoided. I'm not saying all mistakes,
Right.
but a lot of them can be avoided.
Yeah. And these are issues that, we're getting close to, obviously, the tax deadline. But like you say, these are issues that you need to start talking to someone now, not necessarily for April 15th of 2025, but for April 15th of 2026 is what you need to start to plan for. Let me back up for just a second. You talked about that three-legged stool and, the issue that the old thing has been the Social Security and pension. A lot of people don't have a pension. We got a lot of people who are listening who are probably thinking, I don't have a pension and I don't have a huge, gigantic nest egg. And to go in and to sit down with Larry or some of his staff members would be silly because they would just laugh at me. That's not the case, right?
No matter what your situation, start somewhere to get somewhere.
Right.
Whether you're younger or older or anything in between, whether you have a little bit or a lot, whether you have a lot of time on your hands or very little time on your hands, sometimes people feel bad. They bury their head in the sand and do nothing.
Right.
That's probably the worst thing you can do. Nobody should be judgmental. Nobody's going to be judgmental. Whatever you have is what you have. And if we can help you grow, if we can give you some advice, if we can lead you in the right direction, if we can develop a plan, that can be different things for different people. But what we do like to look at is all the options. We're talking about income and understand, what you're looking at. I think of REITs, and we didn't discuss it, but sometimes people use real estate investment trusts or dividends.
Sure.
But make sure you understand the complexity of some of these investments. The illiquid alternative investments may not be a good option, especially if you need the money sooner than later. What are the terms to these annuities? Are you tying things up? Again, avoiding these surprises. So, if you're really listening and you feel like you've reached the top of the mountaintop, you're on the cusp of retirement, but you don't know how to turn this savings into a retirement income, give us a call. Let's discuss it. today rather than tomorrow, sooner than later, because life happens, we get busy, and next thing you know, man, I just haven't done anything. And sometimes that's the worst thing you can do.
Sure.
Again, 612-504-8400. Give us a call. We'd love to visit with you.
Or havenfinancialgroup.com. Learn a little bit more about some of those educational seminars coming up. Open to anyone. They would just like to get a head count if at all possible. All right, Larry, still coming up here. Will you be able to live off of your retirement income? Now, this is sort of transitions into that question. Do I have enough? And, how long is that going to last? The question I think that you have said time and time again, the one that you hear most frequently when people walk through the door. So we're going to discuss that on the other side of this break right here on the Haven Financial Group Radio Show.